The first day of Trent Bridge, a coolish sort of day with perhaps a threat of bad light stoppages later on, but no real prospect of rain as the two skippers went out to exchange teams and to toss. The sides nominated by the selectors, the England side left out Agnew and brought in Sidebottom for his first test cap. The Australians went in with exactly the same side as one at toss for the first time in the series, a welcome change for him. And we pick up play now in the fourth over. 3 runs on the board, McDermott is the bowler, and Tim Robinson on his home ground is the man taking strike.
Good shot. A beautiful pair of his pads. Off his pads and square of the wicket on the offside. It's great strengths. It's a chase for Graham Wood. Two more to Robinson. Goes on now to 8. There's 1 extra. 9 on the board so far. Gooch still waiting for his first run. The better time shot. No chance of Wood cutting that off. He had 6 from 2 deliveries, and then the one he clipped off the pads as well. This is an expensive over as far as Craig McDermott's concerned. Certainly no swing there at all. Here's McDermott again. Gooch is taking strike. It's off the mark now. McDermott's natural delivery slants him away towards the batsman's pads most of the time. Robinson taking strike, and Lawson's the bowler. Super shot once again. Well, that's definitely not the place to bowl to Tim Robinson, nor, for that matter, to any class batsman. Precisely the treatment required there. An artist at work alongside the photographers. Photographers organising their images. The artist putting on canvas this very attractive old ground. That's a real cracker of a shot. In deference to all those strokes and the runs that are fairly ripping along, Board has taken away a slip, put him out at point. So it's 2 slips in the gully and a square point plus extra cover. Good shot. It's timed well enough to make things very difficult for the man coming around. It's just a defensive little push from Robinson, square of the wicket.
This one kept Greg Ritchie interested all the way, and the despairing foot at the end just helping it over the rope.
Lawson 5 overs for 18. McDermott's taken a hammering, 4 for 28. So much so that he's being removed from the attack, as indeed I am. A few words from Bob Willis, and then it'll be Jim Laker.
So, with only 9 overs gone, Alan Border making his first bowling change, and into the attack comes Simon O'Donnell.
Thank you, Bob. I'm sorry, Richie, about all that hammer. There we are, 48 on the board. And now an error in the field. It's tickled away down to long leg by Tim Robinson to bring up the 50. Excellent start then for England, and a particularly good start for Tim Robinson here, playing Test match on his home ground for the first time. 34 he's made out of the 50 on the board, and that's come off only 72 balls.
First one down. That's the first ball that's done anything. Border took the catch. It was well bowled by Lawson, but not a ball earlier has deviated. That one left him in the air and also seemed to go a bit off the seam. Robinson, after playing so brilliantly this morning, is out for 38. Lawson has taken the first wicket. We're into the 15th over as David Gower comes in. Well, all of a sudden it started to do something.
I don't know what's happening. The tide must have come in, Richie, or something. But that really is a beautiful delivery. Look at that. Pitched middle, went like a leg break. Right across David Gower. And lucky not to get a touch.
Well, this is quite astonishing. We've gone through the morning with the ball not swinging and not moving off the seam and not bouncing awkwardly. Suddenly it's all changed. So O'Donnell bowling to Gower. Lovely strokes of that quality down at Lord's. It was absolutely magnificent.
And how good it is to see David Gower moving that front foot, getting right to the ball. Majestic stroke.
Geoff Lawson to Gower. Good shot again. There's two glorious cover drives from David Gower this morning. Very majestic. Almost casually majestic. And that's as good a start as I've seen from David Gower for a long time. 23 not out. He played lovely innings at Lord's, but today he was really stroking the ball well right from the moment he came in. Robinson, I thought, played a delightful knock for his 38. He got a very good delivery from Lawson. And Gooch, 17, is being outdistanced there by Gower, who's already on 23, with another 7 runs having been added up to lunch, 85 for 1. Only 21 overs bowled for those runs because 6 had been lost due to bad light. Well, Graham Gooch might have been slow before the interval, but he was showing signs, just as lunch came along, of a man about to take charge. Here he is now in the second over after the interval with 1 run added, facing Craig McDermott.
It's a useful delivery, a bit of late movement. Guided away, there's no third man down there. And Graham Gooch will pick up 4 as a result. So O'Donnell to resume with Gower to face. It's the overpitched one again, and it's driven very firmly for 4 by David Gower. It really does make it look all so easy when he's in form. Sir Donald to Gooch. And that's through the gap. Beautiful straight drive from Graham Gooch. And three figures rattles up on the board, and it's a fine start by England. 100 for 1.
Well, the shout is there for the appeal from the man at mid-on.
Quite an interesting series of events here. Gooch hitting the ball back very firmly, and Gower getting his bat back just in time.
Here's McDermott again. Gooch is taking strike. Oh. Well, lucky there. I think he probably stopped that just in front of his throat.
Ball slipping out of McDermott's hands and straight for the end of Graham Gooch's nose, and he's very relieved to get that huge willow in the way just in time.
Another full toss, but this time in slightly less dangerous territory. Gooch goes into the 40s. Simon O'Donnell, and he's bowling to Gooch. Jeff Lawson, no chance of him cutting that off. Graham Gooch goes past his previous best score against Australia in this country. Previous best was 44 at Lord's, 1981. That wasn't very sensible bowling either. And Graham Gooch has now reached a half-century. 50 in 103 balls, 9 boundaries. It's his 4th 50 against Australia, and his 16th Test 50 in all. Well, Border's options are limited with only the 4 bowlers, but he does have Bob Holland, and it's Holland being introduced to the attack now. Deep mid-wicket. What a full tosses bowled today. The 150 comes up for England now. Oh, there's a good shot. Beautiful stroke. Couldn't have been straighter. Successive boundaries from Bob Holland. 100 partnership up, and England looking good.
Holland again to Gower. It's a lovely shot for Gower's 50. Waited for it, placed it nicely away. So 3 runs to David Gower, take him on to 52. The bat's in the air, and another Test match 50 for David Gower. 84 balls, 5 fours. That's the 26th time he's got past the half-century in that doesn't include his hundreds. Still to be Lawson from the Radcliffe Road end. And he's gone. What a good catch that was. And Graham Gooch out for 71, 71 now for 2. That went quick and low to Kepler Wessel's left hand. And Lawson now has picked up both the wickets.
Yes, that took off quite sharply, actually, and beautifully picked up there by Wessels. Very fine innings by Graham Gooch. I think he would agree that he hasn't really timed the ball and played with his usual fluency, but he's battled on, and that's a sign of a good player, getting runs when you're not really in very good nick. And he's been replaced by Mike Gatting, Middlesex captain. And here you can see that ball got up quite high and very nicely picked up in the gully there.
Extra close catches for the new batsman. 3 slips and a gully in for Mike Gatting. I think there's a few heart tremors in the England dressing room there too. Not one of the greatest shots you're ever going to see off the first ball in a test match.
This is quite astonishing. First ball. 1.5 foot outside the off stump, bouncing. Well, it might have been a good one to let go.
Gower again to face Holland. Tossed high and wide. Full toss, and David Gower, sorry he didn't put that one away. Nice little gift wide outside the off stump. And another one to follow. That's gone where the first one should have gone, and it's 4 runs.
6 more runs added to take the total up to 182 for 2, and that's come at a very good rate. 51 overs have been bowled when tea was taken. Gower 63 not out. Gooch, I thought, played an excellent innings, and I reckon it'll be one that satisfied the England selectors as well, because they wanted a little more patience and the same steely determination that Gooch always shows. That's exactly what he gave today. Gatting 1 not out, and Gower in tremendous form up to the interval. Here's the second over now. After the tea break, 3 runs have been added, and McDermott is the bowler coming in to bowl to Mike Gatting.
There's no third man. Anything that gets through the field today is going to be 4. This outfield is very quick. Ground is not over large. It just races away across the outfield. An easy 2 there for Mike Gatting. It's very well run. Lawson was the man having to come round from deep fine leg. At 3 takes Gatting on to 11. Gower 67, 196 for 2. Lawson. He's got a lot of work to do today, Geoff Lawson, and he's done it very well. He's a very big-hearted performer. Colin de Gower. And good run between the wickets once again. The 200 comes up for England. Midway through this final session, 201 for 2 after winning the toss here at Trent Bridge. It's to be McDermott now. He's going to bowl to Gatting. A pretty good hook of Mike Gatting. McDermott to Gower. It's an elegant stroke. All the time in the world. Lovely shot. Easy for there, they just race away over the boundary.
So Holland comes off, 14 overs for 47, replaced by Simon O'Donnell. Just the 2 slips now, a cover, extra cover and a mid-off. Hooked away for 4 runs by Mike Gatting.
Even the watchful Gatting can't resist this loosener and murders it through the leg side.
To follow. No margin of error on this pitch, much too slow to bowl that sort of length. The border walks out of the slips, goes into the leg side. Identical ball, identical shot, and the same result.
Mike Gatting showing that he's not worried about this pitch at all, and in fact both helmets being removed by the batsman. It's a fair indication of the placidity of this pitch.
There's Geoffrey Lawson loosened up nicely at wide mid-on, and he's been their spearhead today. O'Donnell then to Gower. Perfect piece of time in there by Gower. It a little more than a push. And finished up just about 10 yards short of the ropes. Applause for that single because it brings up the 250. So that Lawson again is going to be the recipient of more liquid refreshment. And obviously there's a little concern out there about Geoff Lawson. 2 or 3 times they've been out with drinks and odd little pill, and out there with only 4 bowlers there would be in really big trouble if he was unable to continue. Down the wicket, over the top, great shot, perfectly safe, and Gower goes on to 98.
Fine stroke from David Gower, using his feet, getting right to the pitch of the ball and chipping that high over mid-on.
Donaldson going to come round the wicket now to Gower. That's it. Nice little nudge off the legs. He'll come back for 2 and 101 then for David Gower. Fine effort of that set high, 261 for 2, and Gower not out, 101. Century made off 167 balls, 9 fours in it. It's his 10th Test 100 and his 3rd, in fact, against Australia.
O'Donnell to Gatting. Lovely stroke. 50 for Gatting. Beautiful shot. Nicely over it. Perfect placement and superb timing to give him his half-century. And a fine half-century for Mike Gatting, 53 not out, with 7 more runs added, up to 5-6, which was the point where the umpires came off because of bad light. They lost 3 overs and 2 balls in that little session, but I should think David Gower was absolutely delighted at the close of play to have that score on the board. 279 for 2, Gower himself 107. It was just the sort of performance England needed after they'd won the toss on this very good pitch, and that is reflected in the bowling figures for the Australians. Lawson was outstanding. He was the best bowler apart from having taken the 2 wickets, 24.4 overs, 7 maidens, 2 for 58. McDermott none for 84, O'Donnell none for 72, and Holland none for 57. And as far as I'm concerned, they're paying a penalty there for having gone in on a perfect batting strip with only 4 bowlers. The run rate achieved by England today was just under 60 runs have been added. The batsman taking strike is Kepler Wessels. Yeah, it's gone safely away, but Ellison has bowled well enough this morning to justify putting his hands on his head or his hips or wherever he likes. Just enough movement in the air.
And in fact, if they had a gully, this would have been a catch to gully. Sometimes England have certainly over-attacked this year, but this morning David Gower did have a gully but waved him back, and possibly early on it would have been worth a gully.
Got him, well caught. For a moment I thought Edmonds was having trouble pushing off in the wet ground, but he took it well, going forward low. He didn't panic. Ball may even come a fraction slower. Border is gone. Ball may even come a fraction slower than Edmonds expected. And that's the breakthrough England needed so badly. 189 for 3 now. Border gone for 45. Caught Edmonds, bowled Ellison. And Ellison thoroughly deserved some success this morning. He's bowled very well.
Well, that's the delivery that we've been talking about. He'd been bowling the in-swinger, the out-swinger to the left-hander, and roundabout off stump, and that one he made go back into the left-hander.
The new batsman is Greg Ritchie. Comes out to join Kepler Wessels, who's on 82. That was an off-stump, I should think.
Well, a very fine delivery this, but I think Ian Botham's smile tells everything. That while it beat the bat, the pad in fact got just outside the off stump, and the ball would have missed the off stump at the finish, but a very fine delivery.
This has been a fascinating half hour. Been very few runs scored, just 10 of them by the Australians. They've lost the wicket of their captain. There's been some good attacking swing and seam bowling. And another wicket. And Ellison deserves it. That one swung away from the left-hander. It's just a little bit shorter. But it kept on going out to pitching, and the two not out batsmen from overnight have gone. Border first, and now Wessels for 83. Put Downton bowled Ellison, and Downton has just made his 50th dismissal in Test cricket.
And Wessels has managed to let them go all morning round about that off stump, but on this occasion it just lulled them into playing at it, and the ball just carrying there through to the keeper. And another foot and it wouldn't have made it, but certainly that's set this Cornwall Test match alight again now, and there have been very fine Test matches so far, so let's hope that we can keep on going in the way they've gone so far this series.
Richard Ellison now 2 for 20 from 13.4 overs and 4 maidens. Two players at the crease, neither of whom yet off the mark. Phillips is faced with 3 slips and a gully. And England in the middle of a tremendous fight back.
It's in the air and only just falling short. Robinson there at short extra.
And that just fell short of Tim Robinson at cover. Both these batsmen like playing their shots, but it's a very, very tight situation for them. They really ought to be knuckling down.
Oh, well bowled again. And lucky to get away with it, lucky to get off the mark. And extremely fortunate to get 4 runs for it.
And a fine piece of bowling. You see Ellison opening him right out with this one. He really didn't know what was happening.
So that streaky boundary brings the 200 up. 461 balls faced. Let's nudge around again with the swing. They could really have run 4 if it set off, but settled in the end for 3. Long chase for Les Taylor. Well, he's got to be pretty accurate with this field. He's got 2 men on the leg side, and Phil Edmonds has got an awful lot of ground to cover there. It's a wild throw coming in. Brings an overthrow. So that's a fairly unusual sight these days. England's throw-in usually has been extremely accurate. And he's gone, beautifully caught. Both of them picking him up there at second slip. And a super piece of bowling once again by Richard Ellison. A little bit of a waiver, but found the outside edge. And Greg Ritchie is gone for 8. 207 for 5 now, and a marvellous first hour's play for England.
Yes, really terrific this. Slanted in at him, just moving away fractionally, and beautifully picked up there by Ian Botham. Noticeable his hands weren't on his knees then when it was edged. Greg Ritchie making his way back to the pavilion. Caught both and bowled Ellison for 8.
This is Simon O'Donnell, the new batsman, coming in at number 7. During that dismissal, Phil Edmonds decided it was time he adjourned to the pavilion. So Agnew is out again. So whereas apparently Edmonds had the ability to cover all that area, now needs 2 men. Square leg getting up it on. No third man then, 3 slips and a gully. And listen to O'Donnell. Certainly see the ball swing there, but it started very wide. But another wicket in the over adding to this quite remarkable spell of Richard Ellison this morning. 3 for 29 and 3 for 18 in all this morning's spell. Taylor now has a chance to bowl at the left-hander Wayne Phillips. Very, very close there to picking up his first Test wicket.
No luck again for Les Taylor. He's not been the luckiest bowler this match. He's bowled pretty well. Had one difficult chance, dropped one himself. And with a bit of luck, could easily have had a wicket or two.
Odd spot of rain about at the moment. You can see there's an umbrella up here and there. It's not very much at the moment. We were threatened with a shower in the morning, with the weather improving as the day went on. It's going to come Lawson, McDermott, Thompson and Holland. So another wicket here for England, and you see the tail emerging. And he's gone. Yes, up goes David Conson's finger, and finally Les Taylor's taken that much-deserved wicket, his first in Test match cricket. A very dejected Simon O'Donnell, off with only 1 to his name, leaving Australia 208 for 6.
Thoroughly deserved this by Les Taylor. He's bowled very, very well this match, and a very fine delivery indeed as well. Pitched round about off stump, left him, and Simon O'Donnell there, no doubt about that one. And he'll be very pleased with Les, and the players will be very pleased for him, because he's a hard worker, Les, and gives everything he's got. But Australia now in real trouble. Nothing else left now in the way of recognised batsmen. So England will be hoping now to bowl them out for the 250 mark.
There's quite a transformation in this game of cricket. It's really what makes it such a marvellous game. Another look at the dismissal of O'Donnell. No question about that, striking the outside edge quite clearly. So Geoff Lawson already out there in the middle. And at this stage, one imagines he'll be looking to try and give some sort of support to Wayne Phillips at the other end. And he's worked that through that ring of close catches, but safely all the way along the ground. Sees him off the mark. The score goes on to 209 for 6.
There's Taylor now from the members' end. Phillips has taken strike. That's typical of the stroke play used by this man who plays for South Australia and has opened the batting for Australia. Very strong off the back foot and a good driver as well.
Yes, Wayne Phillips doesn't miss many opportunities. If you don't bowl well at him, he certainly plays a few shots, and this one whistled away through the covers, and a very fine shot indeed, that.
A few raincoat hoods going on. Can't see too many umbrellas. Well, there's a few umbrellas around, a bit of movement in the crowd. And the ground staff are coming out there at the top of your picture, just readying themselves. But this is actually what they forecast, a possible light shower late morning. Yes, the forecast is dry to start with. Well, we've had that. Possible light shower and a little bit of bad light late in the morning. We're having that now. And that to extend into the very early afternoon. And then the rain will die away and there'll be some sunshine. So there you are. It's bikini time. And Wayne Phillips needs the towel to dry the hand of the bat. Got him. Good catch. Low to the ground. Tim Robinson picks it up. It probably jammed his fingers into the ground, and Ellison has done it again. Australia 218 for 7. Really in the toils out there, and this man Ellison has done a terrific job this morning.
Well, when it's going for you, it goes for you. Richard Ellison won't be all that pleased with that delivery, and Wayne Phillips hit it pretty hard, and a good catch at cover there. But that's just what happens when there's a little bit of luck going your way. You can see that hit it pretty hard, but the ball didn't probably come on quite so quick, but a good catch right down by his boot soles. And that looks pretty impressive there for Richard Ellison this morning. He'll be delighted. It's nice to get a few wickets at this level.
Ellison to McDermott. Over 6 maidens, 4 for 31. What impressive figures. This is an interesting moment for Craig McDermott. Tremendous bowling success at Old Trafford, but when he batted, lasted only one delivery, to which he shouldered arms. Shot from Craig McDermott. The outfield much quicker today.
Very correct and very effective. Foot to the pitch of the ball, and away she goes.
Botham to Lawson. That's a real problem for Geoff Lawson. I reckon that might have hit him on the point of the elbow.
Yes, awkward rising delivery. Banged in, quite short. And Geoff Lawson just letting it hit him, actually. Right on the point of the elbow. He didn't try and get out of the way. He didn't look at the ball. But I think we'll find that that hit him exactly on the point of the elbow. It could be very serious.
And those occasions where you have to look at the good side of it, I suppose, and it is Lawson's left arm rather than his bowling hand. But it's still going to be very painful when he has to come out and thrust that left arm up in the air. Get plenty of drive for his bowling action. It's even more painful in the short term when he has to pick up the bat again. Wrapping your fingers around the bat handle is one of the more difficult exercises. Well, Geoff Lawson had to face one more ball up to the luncheon interval, which saw Australia 230 for 7, with Lawson on 6 and McDermott 5, and the team in a tremendous amount of trouble after they'd started at 181
for 2. Lawson and McDermott are well known for their bowling exploits in this series, not so much so far for their batting. Bowling figures for England, very, very impressive for Richard Ellison, who bowled quite superbly in that first session. 21 overs, 6 maidens and 4 for 33, only the seam bowlers used up to that time. So they got on after lunch for just the 1 over, and then the rain came down again. It really has been a frustrating match so far, as well as a frustrating summer. The umpires were on and off during the afternoon, trying to get the game started again, but no luck until around about 5:15. It's 7 for 248 when we pick up play. Ian Botham is the bowler, and Geoffrey Lawson taking strike.
And he's let the bat flow at that one, and despite the outfield being quite slow and soggy, it's raced away for 4.
Very good performances by Geoff Lawson. Throwing the bat at anything that's anywhere near. No signs of any aches and pains from that nasty blow on the elbow.
Well, that takes Australia past the 250 mark, 252 now. Ellison then striving for his 5th wicket. That surprised him. Very, very seldom that you see Richard Ellison let anything go like that.
Yes, and in many ways it was a little bit of luck. The old helmet didn't go on the stumps. Could so easily have done. It was quite a sharp delivery. Whoops.
All his life he's probably wanted to knock a helmet off. Lawson now to face. That's a beautiful stroke. Only a 1, 2, 3, would have been proud of that. 2, 3 runs there for Geoff Lawson. And he's not very happy. Well, 2 down by both of them there. 1 earlier on, and very cross about missing it off his own bowling, especially with those figures. 1 for 93. Listen to McDermott. No need for anybody to run for that one. But soon found the boundary.
Yes, tremendous stuff this by the 2 Australian fast bowlers. No messing. If it's within range, we're going to hit it.
Yet another gap being found on the leg side. So these two have put 50 on. 268. And just when England thought they had him on the run, Australia fights back.
Gower with a good catch. 5 for Ellison, and the 5th one coming from a super catch by the England skipper David Gower. It's the 6th time in his career Ellison has taken 5 wickets in an innings, but the first time in a test match. McDermott is out for 35. Court Gower bowled Ellison.
And McDermott can think himself a little bit unlucky here. He went for the big one. He went high, and David Gower running back caught an absolute blinder. That's the only way to describe that. Tremendous catch.
276 for 8. Lawson is 22. Jeff Thompson
He's the new batsman for Australia. And he's celebrating his 35th birthday today. Don't actually hear anyone singing happy birthday, Jeff, out there. But it was on this ground back in 1975 that Jeff Thomson demolished an England batting side. It's a chance, very difficult one, but it's also 4 runs. It'll give you an idea of how much power was behind that stroke from Geoff Lawson. And this is a very good counter-attack from the Australian fast bowler.
Yeah, you see this? Ellison there gets a good hand on it, and it still went very quickly to the boundary, so that was it with quite a lot of power there.
Nicely timed. Lawson's confident enough to be racing back for the second. Well, that is a very good recovery from the Australians. Richard Ellison to Thomson. It's a very good shot from Thomson. Magnificent blow straight down the ground for 6. Beautifully picked up. No swing there, and it came just about off the middle of the bat. Phil Edmonds now bowling to Thomson. He's got that away over mid-wicket. Well, perhaps the policy of giving Thomson the strike isn't working out 100%. He's now gone on to 26. Lawson's 41. It's 321 for 8. John Embree now to Lawson. And 4 more. Geoffrey Lawson goes now to 49. And the 50 partnership comes up in only 63 balls. 2 great partnerships for Australia. One between Lawson and McDermott, and now between Lawson and Thomson. And another very good shot for 4 more. And Lawson reaches a half-century. And what a good innings it's been for Australia. When he came in, it was 218 for 7. And that partnership began between Lawson and McDermott. Now he's gone on to 53. 333 for 8. 2 more runs added to take the Australians on to 335 for 8 at the close, and that a most unlikely score when you take into account the fact that at one stage they were 218 for 7. The bowling figures for England: Ellison remained the star, 5 for 77 from 31 overs and 9 maidens, a wicket each to both them. Taylor, his first Test match wicket, at 400. Here's Ellison now, the very first ball of the day, preparing to bowl to Thomson.
So this has been a fine stand, and Ellison is the man who is going to attempt to break it. Had a marvellous spell yesterday, coming in for the first ball, the 3rd day of this Cornhill Test. And through for a quick single. Gauss onto it quickly, and it's a good throw, and he's out, and it's a sensational start to the morning's cricket. Well, Gowers had a good day in the field. He's taken a brilliant catch yesterday, and now responsible for a lovely pick-up and accurate throw. And Lawson, who played so very, very well here yesterday, has gone to the very first ball of the day, run out for 53, making Australia 335 for 9.
Yes, you really can't predict this game of cricket. I don't think there was any problems at all if they'd both gone 100%, but there was quite a bit of hesitation, and obviously lost at least a good yard there with the hesitation. And obviously lost at least a good yard there with the hesitation, and Gower feeling well and running, hitting the wicket, and unfortunately Jeff Lawson very angry with himself, and rightly so.
Extra gully has been put in now. Ellison then to Holland. And that's out. Beautifully taken. A third catch to Phil Edmonds. Sensational end to that innings. It's all over in the space of an over. And Richard Ellison finishes with 6 wickets. Bob Holland goes, as they say, without troubling the scorers, to leave Australia 335 all out. And things couldn't really have worked out better for David Gower this morning.
You can bet your life they couldn't. 335 and not even a full over bowled on this, the third morning. I reckon David Gower thought all his birthdays had come at once. Ellison finished up with 6 wickets, 6 for 77. Terrific performance from him. And England sent their openers out, Robinson and Gooch, at 11:15. Who would have thought that would have happened when the players were strolling onto the field at the start of play today? The bowling figures: Ellison 6 for 77 and a wicket each to Botham, Taylor and Edmonds. So Gooch and Robinson to open the innings for England. We pick up play now in the second over. McDermott is the bowler, and he's coming into bowl to Robinson.
Well, it's a marvellous way to get off the mark. Beautiful, confident clip through mid-wicket for 4.
And McDermott here going right at the edge of the return crease, so the ball angling in quite a lot, and Tim Robinson there just helping on its way through mid-wicket, using the pace of the ball.
Lawson again to Gooch. Well, that's 4 runs, but I don't think Gooch is going to feel all that secure about that, because that could really have gone to hand. He wasn't quite to the pitch of it, a little bit of a way swing, but he was lucky, I think, to find a gap. That's 4 runs. Wide half volley. Had to go a fair way to reach it. In fact, just about finished up hitting it with a flat bat.
Almost majestic, this. Very, very wide. Touch of the West Indians there.
The Gooch goes on to 10. Repeated. Took a better stroke this time. It's third 4 already off Lawson, all taken off him by Gooch. And you'll notice a statement of the long drawn-out Botham affair has just come to hand. Ian Botham is to be charged with displaying public dissent and will appear in front of a disciplinary committee at Lord's on the 28th of August. Seems a nice bit of timing. It's the eve of the last Test match. McDermott still bowling to Robinson. It'll still be Tim Robinson again, as that's 4 to him this time.
Of course, Jeff Thomson needing 1 more English wicket to complete 100 against England, and 1 more to complete 200 wickets in a Test career.
And there's no need for umpire David Constant
to raise his finger. Jeff Thomson has taken his 200th wicket. 10 years ago, he picked up Gooch. Long time between wickets, but it's the 200th for him. Graham Gooch out. Court Phillips bowled Thomson for 19.
And no question that this may look a little bit wide, but in fact, it's swung away from the bat.
David Gower comes out now to join Robinson. 1 for 38 the score. No third man, and that'll be 4. Beautiful piece of bowling. Drew Robinson into the stroke with a slower ball. It was just too high for Simon O'Donnell. There's nothing wrong with the pitch. That was perfect bowling. Two good deliveries.
And quite a quicker delivery coming back a bit there that almost squeezed through Tim Robinson. The bat wasn't coming down straight, slightly across, and it nearly squeezed through.
So an authoritative stroke from David Gower. And up comes the half century for England.
So it's Thomson again to Gower. That's another good shot. Plenty of time to get onto the back foot. Placed it beautifully this time. Well, a bit unlucky. He might just have been able to pull that out for that last-minute slip from Bob Holland. So Gower puts a no ball away for 4. That's a beautiful shot off the back foot. Thomson dropping short again and getting punished for it. 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. Thomson again to Robinson. And plays that very well indeed. Everything right about it this time. It races away for 4 runs.
Well, that's an excellent shot really there off the back foot. Just towards mid-off. Beautiful shot that, and an amazing amount of power on this slow wicket to hit it there for 4 runs.
And Bob Holland is going to bowl his mixture of leg spin and top spin from the city end. And that's 4 runs. Dropped it short, it came off oh so slowly, turned a little bit, and judging that turn, cracked it away wide of middle. And that's the stroke repeated. Beautiful shot. Off the front foot this time. It races away under the scoreboard there. That's going to bring up the 100. So 2 superb shots from David Gower brings England total onto 3 figures. 100 for 1 and come in very good time indeed.
3 more runs added to take the total up to 103 for 1 at lunch, with Gooch the sole success for Australia, giving Thomson
that milestone in his cricket career. Gooch out for 19, Robinson 42 and Gower 30, and my word, they were looking menacing even at that stage of the day. We pick up play now in the third over after lunch. 6 runs have been added. Simon O'Donnell is the bowler. He's coming into Tim Robinson. 4 runs. Fatal to bowl to Robinson around about his pads. I assume the Australians know it, but they continue to do so. 113 for 1 now, 49 to Robinson and 33 to Gower. And there's the half-century for him. Once again, that ball ran about Robinson's pads, and once again he deals with it. Tim Robinson, 50 from 89 balls faced. 8 boundaries for him, and almost all of them from balls pitching on the half volley round about leg stump.
So Donald to Gower. Well, after a long wait, finally David Gower finds a boundary. Slow 3/4 of an hour after play. And finally we get that little burst, a short one from Gower, hooked away through mid-wicket for 4. It's a good straight drive, beautifully placed by Gower. So the 100th partnership comes up for the 2nd wicket, taking his score on to 47, and Tim Robinson on 60. That's a single that Gower was looking for to take him to the half-century. Very good 50. He got away with a flourish, had a little quiet patch in the middle, but has come on again with a flurry of really decisive scoring shots. 50 off 92 balls, 7 fours in it, and that's the 26th time he's got to 50 in a test match. It doesn't include the 10 hundreds he's made. Wilson to Robinson. That's short, that's 4 runs. Great stop this time.
We've seen a lot of great fielding in this series, but none better than that. Tim Robinson hitting it right in the middle of the bat.
Jeff Thompson now coming on at the City end, taking over from O'Donnell.
It's a cracking shot from David Gower. Didn't quite time it as he would have wished. It got down towards the middle of the bottom of the bat.
Really hitting it very hard, which David doesn't usually do. But, no danger there.
Beautiful stroke from David Gower. He picked the slower ball, waited on it, stroked it away beautifully for 3.
never going to learn. I thought there were enough boundaries have been hit today by Robinson to indicate that that is very much his strength.
And the 150 partnership there. Lovely shot off his legs by Robinson.
Yesterday, that area away to the west of the ground was just a mass of black cloud. Well, today, nice silvery cloud with blue sky. And it all looks very good. The forecast is excellent. Crowd is very good. They've closed the gates and members and reserve seat holders have packed in. And there's an air of good humour around, with England carrying the attack right on to Australia. Didn't bother chasing that. It's quite extraordinary how one moment the bowlers are bowling at the pads of the right hand, and the next moment, as though with a magnet, the ball's drawn towards the pads of the left-hander.
Yes, they've got the wrong computer working there, Richie. That really was a beautiful stroke from David Gower. No need to run when you hit him like that.
There's a great partnership between Tim Robinson and David Gower. 77 to Robinson, 80 to Gower, and they played some wonderful strokes there to delight this capacity crowd. The Australians fought back after tea. There was a quiet period where the batsmen couldn't get the bowlers away, and the 200 came up with yet another no ball bowled by the Australians. We pick up play now at 209 for 1. Geoff Lawson is the bowler, coming into Tim Robinson.
Oh, he's finally picked hold of one. Short one, and my word, he played that well. Holland coming round the wicket now. Looking for that little bit of rough with Gower facing. Well bowled. And must have been a fairly close decision that for David Gower. And once again, the bowler looks bewildered.
I know a lot of turn there, but a hell of a good piece of bowling. Completely beaten in the flight. Bob Holland pushed that one through, and it looked to me as though it might have turned too much.
Again, that cut shot played very nicely by Robinson. Good running by Gower. He's going to make it into 3 for the right-hander. .231 for 1. And a little race to the 3-figure mark. 96 for Robinson, 91 for Gower.
Change in the attack. Jeff Thompson replacing Geoff Lawson at the pavilion end.
No doubt where that's gone. Rattle away to the boundary. 100 to Tim Robinson, and a very, very good one as well. No doubt about that. Brilliant stroke. What a nice way to bring up the century. 193 balls, 12 fours. None of them better than that last stroke, and 273 minutes. And England just 98 behind, and still at least 27 overs to be bowled. The gun on board got the fingertips to that.
Yes, I don't think there's much doubt that was a definite chance. Inside edge onto the pad.
.240 for one. That's a double century partnership. These two batsmen looking extremely comfortable. 200 in only 320 balls faced. Thompson to go. Beautiful stroke. That's one for the memory. And even the bowler is clapping the stroke and the century. As Gower has gone on now to 101.
Well, David Gower won't play a much better shot than this, and what a way to go to your century. Perfect cover drive. Made off 170 balls with 13 fours. That's his 11th Test 100, and the 4th against Australia, and the 2nd on this ground. And it's been a very, very entertaining knock, as both these knocks have been, and really tremendous entertainment, capacity crowd. This is what cricket's all about, and what we've been lacking this summer, a bit of sunshine.
.250 came up for England in 416 balls. Terrific scoring rate. No wonder that man is smiling. No ball. Probably not going to be the end of the frustrations for the Australians to have Robinson caught off a no ball. And out at mid-wicket, Kepler Wessels. Really smashed that away past Wessels at short leg. More.
Quite right. Wessels moving away from short leg. That must have been very, very close indeed to him. Short of a length ball there. Gower going back and pulling it really hard.
Thompson to Gower. Pretty to watch. And a nice way to bring up 1,000 first-class runs in 1985. Super shot. Holland now to Robinson. There's a good shot. Picked that nicely. Got himself to the pitch of the ball and hit it beautifully straight.
Yes, and England showing the right tactics here. That if they're going to have a chance of winning this match, they've got to keep the score moving along tonight and get in front of that Australian total.
This is McDermott. And that's through mid-off for 4 runs. And even without a slip, he can't block all the gaps. Applause there for the 250 partnership. Still to be Holland. He's picked that one up with the swing out towards long on. Is it cleared? Yes, Sapnell, the 2 arms aloft. It's 6 runs to David Gower.
just have a feeling that David Gower has been waiting for that one. Picked that up beautifully.
Oh, he's gone for another one. Cracked this straight and a fine stroke for 4 this time. 300 goes up. Gower puts on the pressure. An interesting change. Alan Border decides it's time. He turned his arm over. It's going to come on from this pavilion end. And Boulder Gower, and you should be sure he's got 3 men at least back on the leg side. A ring of 4 on the offside. Slow left arm is the usual style of Alan Border. It's a beautiful stroke through the offside. Races away for 4 runs.
And the skipper leading the charge now. Lovely footwork. Straight through extra cover.
We're going to see the medium quick of Simon O'Donnell now. And nobody need run for that one either. Let's see the sort of strokes you can play when you've got 140 odd to your name.
Yes, the wide flat bat whistling through point, and England well on the way to overhauling Australia now. We should be well in front by the end of the day's play.
Six and 19 fours now, and is not to date. 4 more wanted for the 150. There's some quite incredible shots in the last 20 minutes. That takes him to 150. I don't know whether you call it a cut or a drive, somewhere between the two. But it found the boundary edge, and it's 151 out of 331. Remarkably good innings, this. Well, that was a bad ball as Hollett comes back, short outside the off stump, crashed through the offside by Gower, and it's 4 again. 3:37, England have gone ahead. .338 means that this pair now have added exactly 300 runs. Long time since Graham Gooch went to 19 when the total was 38. A magnificent stand for the second wicket. He's now gone on to exactly 300. And plenty for this big Edgbaston crowd to cheer about. Not too often do you get 300 stands. It's not McDermott, but Jeff Thompson who's going to be given this final over. Let's face it, he's taken all the wickets that have gone down today. 1 for 72. There's a no ball. And 1 more ball in the over. Sliced away down to 3rd man. And sufficient to see England pass the 350 mark. 351 just for the loss of Graham Gooch. Rounded off the day with an absolutely glorious extra cover drive. Couldn't see anything much better than that.
You certainly don't, and what a magnificent innings it was from David Gower today. 169 not out. Tim Robinson played wonderfully well also, 140 not out, and they absolutely slaughtered the Australian bowlers. And there's still plenty of batting to come there. Gatting, Lamb and Botham before you get down to the useful all-rounders. The bowling figures for Australia, only the one success. Jeffrey Thompson, 16 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 80. The rest were hammered. I know now what the St. Valentine's Day massacre must have been a little bit like. And you can get a good idea of the way the Australians were annihilated today if you have a look at the run rate. When the Australians batted, they were just in a tremendous position. The Australians took a hammering on Saturday, as can be seen, first of all, with a reminder of the batting scorecard, 355 for 1, with Robinson 140 and Gower 169, and then from the bowling figures, which makes sombre reading. None for 75, Lawson, no wickets to McDermott, just 1 to Thompson, and everyone took a real shellacking out there. It was a day England and their supporters will remember for a long, long time. 20 runs ahead, England, when play began this morning, or rather, when it was scheduled to begin. Absolutely appalling. When play began this morning, or rather, when it was scheduled to begin, first of all, there were lots of black clouds around, and then came the blue skies. And blue skies for England when eventually they were able to get underway. Play began 55 minutes late. And we pick it up now with the 5th ball of the 2nd over of the morning. 5 runs have been added. Craig McDermott, the strong young Queenslander, comes in to bowl to Robinson.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot. 4 runs all the way. Dermott dropping short. And one of Tim Robinson's favourite strokes there.
Well, this is the perfect example here of how to hit the short ball off the back foot, really cracking it away. And Craig McDermott never really come to terms with this pitch in this match. He's bowled worse than he's probably bowled at any time on the tour so far, but he's a very young man yet, and he's probably done much better than you would expect, but certainly not coming to terms with this slow pitch at Edgbaston.
And there's more there. .328 now this stand is worth. So the figures of 300 partnerships for England, they've now gone ahead of Hobson Rhodes against Australia in 1911-12. It's Gower now to face Lawson. A single, but I wasn't quite sure where that was going in the first place. A period now of quite pleasant sunshine. And plenty of blue sky. Sun down. But, still the forecast for the odd shower or two to brighten up later. And that's the area normally where we've had the heavy rain over the last few days. So at the moment it looks nice and clear. Lawson now to Robinson. Short ball again, put away square by Robinson. Fine shot. See how damp that outfield is out there. The veteran of the side, Bob Holland, having a long chase. A couple of vessels has come away from the gully now. He's gone to try and block that square cut. Gone quite deep on the offside. There they are, 3 of them. And he's gone. Well, this wicket finally goes. Robinson is bowled. Played it on there. Just too short of his 150. But marvellous effort that from Tim Robinson. Another big 100 to Add to those he's already made, 148. It's 369 now for 2. And Robinson bowled to Lawson for 148. He's gone through to 100 before. He's made 160, 175, so another big 100, and crowd on the feet here. And he'll be a little disappointed to get out, but he's certainly marked his name on this game.
In fact, Tim Robinson played like this once or twice on Saturday. You can see the bat going from gully towards mid-wicket, not straight. And that's the reason he got that inside edge onto his leg and then back onto the wicket. A bit unlucky, but there were numerous occasions on Saturday when he did the same sort of shot and just got away with it. It went onto his body and went safe. But it is a slight problem that on a quicker wicket that he might do that once or twice. So he does want to watch that, and I'm sure that Tim Robinson's a very studious player and he'll watch that. You can see the bat here again. Instead of being straight, it's going across towards mid-wicket lot there, so that when it goes off the bat, it goes onto his leg and then back onto the wicket. He's always looking to kind of get on his back foot and punch that away through mid-wicket, but if it goes slightly wrong, that's what can happen.
No immediate change in the order. Mike Gatting already out there taking guard. So that's the stand in the records, 331. And that'll be a relief to Geoff Lawson. It's over 3 weeks since he took a wicket in first-class cricket. That one just hurried through a little. Getting late on the shot.
Yes, we've watched 300 odd runs made with that wicket falling. That wasn't a bad delivery to receive for your first ball. Bit of bounce, just coming back, and that might get in quite a bit of trouble there.
175, David Gower. Dermot comes in. Very fine deflection. No chance of anybody getting round to stop it. And 4 more. Dermot again to Gower. That's 4. Loose delivery there from McDermott. No problem at all to the England captain. He stroked it away so nonchalantly.
It's Geoff Lawson, and he's bowling to Mike Gatting. Well, it's rather nice that Gatting should play a stroke of such quality to bring up a real milestone in his cricket career. He's now scored 1,000 runs in the calendar year from November the 28th last year. 575 of them in India and 425 in this series. And it's not all that usual an occurrence. Not many batsmen manage it in Test cricket over the years. And that single to Gatting brought up 400 for England, and 3 more runs added up to lunch to take it along to 403 for 2. Gower 197 and Gatting 8 not out. There was a delay of 35 minutes after lunch. Play didn't begin again until 2:15. We pick it up now with 11 runs added. It's the 5th ball of the 3rd over. McDermott
is bowling to Gower.
No doubt about that. Glorious extra cover drive from David Gower. Brings him past the 200 mark. Come back for the third. David Gower goes on to 202. A magnificent innings, his best in Test match cricket. Just nipping past his previous 200 here, which he made against India in 1979. A very popular double century, this crowd on their feet. And Border nodding his congratulations. Mike Gattin shaking him warmly by the hands. A 6 and 25 fours in it of 285 balls, and that's a good scoring rate. Four now for Mike Gattin, and come quite a good deal closer for him. There's nobody back there for Gattin. And it was again another beautiful shot. Dermot again switching, coming around the wicket. It's a full toss and he's dropped him. That really was a sitter.
Well, as so often happens, the bad ball nearly gets the wicket. A lollop in full toss, and David Gower getting it probably a bit low on the bottom of the bat, and it going quite reasonable and steady there to Greg Ritchie at cover.
He's picked that one up. Thompson is out there and he's dropped it. Oh, would you believe it?
Yeah, it's just a bit of a lazy shot there by David, and he really is a bit exasperated by it all, definitely wanting to get on with it, and he just can't, and flips it up there, and really a pretty straightforward sort of a catch to Jeff Thompson.
Well, it's taken a long time. Pat of congratulation there from Geoff Lawson to David Gower. As Gower goes out, court border, bowl Lawson. Lawson now has taken 2 of the wickets, and Gower has made 215. 463 for 3. And England captains against Australia. 5 of them have made centuries over the years, and Gower's is the second highest score behind only Wally Hammond.
Here's the dismissal, short outside the off stump, and he cracked it square straight at Alan Border.
Good shot. That might be marked down in some quarters as a nick, but it wasn't. He waited on it and just pushed it away very neatly. Jeff Thompson to come on from the members or pavilion end. Great shot before. That's the first time England have ever made 500 at Edgbaston against Australia. Four more. Loose bowling down the leg side.
Thompson's figures suffer.
And a lovely little leg glance there, right off the face of the bat.
Hilditch is the fielder. And 50 for Gatting. Almost seemed inevitable. He's played very well. He's faced only 79 balls. And it's his 5th half-century in the series.
Both Lamb and Gatting in prime form. Cracking the ball all over the place. And some fairly untidy Australian bowling.
Jeff Thompson having gone through to 100. It's replaced now by McDermott. Gatting to face. Rash. A great shot that was. This bowler put back over his head. 4 glorious runs.
It certainly was a great shot, and 9 more runs were added to take the score along to 545 for 3 at tea. The match card at that point showed that England were in a commanding position, 210 runs ahead, with Australia having been bowled out for 335 in their first innings. Well, England continued to blast away at the Australians and carve them all over the park, right up to the point where we pick up play now at 572 for 3. McDermott is the bowler. He's coming into bowl to Alan Lamb.
And he's gone. Yes, nicely picked up at mid-wicket there. So the end of Alan Lamb at 46, 572 for 4. Graham Wood, the catcher. And a great roar to greet Ian Botham. What a sight, coming out to bat with a score at 572 for 4.
And again, this is a pretty good shot. Didn't quite get over it, hit it very hard. And mid-wicket there, Wood diving to his left. That was a fine catch.
What about that? That is quite incredible. Quite incredible. First ball, bunked for 6.
And he's decided to get his eye in there, straight into the pavilion. Incredible, really. A ball of McDermott's pace, and the first ball goes straight in the pavilion.
And there's another one. 6 more to follow. This is absolutely incredible.
Well, he obviously got his eye in with that first 6, because that went about another 10 or 15 yards farther than the first one. But what a perfect finish. Complete follow-through. And 2 marvellous big 6s out of the first 3 balls received.
He's pressed that away on the leg side this time. .664. What a way to greet the premier fast bowler on the opposition side. And that's another great hoik out to deep square. And it's been beautifully taken. What a good catch that was. So both of them sacrificing his innings to try and push the score along, but tremendous catch out there by Jeff Thomson. Not an easy one. Hit high, swirling away. And McDermott is delighted that Sanders finally grabbed a good catch off him. So disappointment of the crowd, but both of them unselfishly not worried about averages. He's come there to get some quick runs. He got 18, as you can see, quickly. 2 sixes and a 4 in it, and fell to that catch. A deep square leg boundary. Mid-off, mid-on coming now to save the single with Gatting on 99. And it's through. And there's the single that he wanted. He's got 100, he's kept running because that is the declaration. Well, nice little gesture there by David Gower to see Mike Gatting safely through to an undefeated century. And a batsman in absolutely prime form.
Yes, a superb innings from Mike Gatting, and a nice time for the declaration with almost 600 runs on the board, and they certainly came very easily again today, almost as easily as was the case on Saturday. A terrific performance from David Gower for his 215 before he was caught by Alan Border, Border's 80th Test match catch. And Mike Gatting, not out 100, he goes from strength to strength. He was in command all the time out there today. 595 for 5 declared. And the bowling figures for Australia tell the sad story. Far too often they bowled short, they paid the penalty, and there are 3 wicket takers there, 2 to Lawson, 2 to McDermott, and 1 to Thomson, but at very, very high cost indeed. So the position at the end of the England innings was that England were 260 runs ahead and looking very, very good. Still plenty of overs to be bowled today, and still plenty of time for England. They have the full day there tomorrow. Here's the start of the Australian second innings now. It's the 5th ball of the 3rd over, 10 runs on the board, and Ian Botham is bowling to Hilditch. Dear me, you wouldn't believe it. Simply wouldn't believe it. Richard Ellison, the catcher, 2 men out there waiting for the hook shot, bowl the bouncer and hit it straight down his throat.
Predictable bouncer. It's outside the off stump, which makes it difficult to hook anyhow. He gets a top edge, and Richard Ellison pouches that very comfortably.
Australia 250 behind, 9 wickets in hand, and a long way to go. Taylor, 2 vessels. Down, Embury, the fielder. That was a good delivery from Les Taylor. Sharp in pace, and it went off the seam.
Well, as first slip chances go, that was a very straightforward one.
Ellison to Vessels. That's out. No need for the batsman to wait for the umpire. Flash outside the off stump. And Ellison strikes. After Vessels goes for 10, and it's 32 for 2.
Yes, well, Ellison looking to move the ball end. On this occasion, he swung it out, but it was a bit wide, and Kepler Vessels will be a bit annoyed with himself there.
Bob Holland has 25 minutes to survive out there. And these England bowlers and fielders will be right on their toes now. 3 slips, 2 gullies. Ellison to Holland, who's on the mark. And his LBW first ball. So Ellison's on a hat-trick, and the ploy of sending in the night watchman once again hasn't worked. 32 for 3, Australia.
Well, certainly Bob Holland getting his foot on the wrong line here. You can see his foot goes right down the line of the stumps. That ball pitched around middle and straight, and would have hit about middle.
So Alan Border having to come in the end at 32 for 3. So 32 for 3 And Border finding himself on the hat-trick. Ellison under Border. And not a very good hat-trick ball. With a little bit of width. And Border, too experienced a campaigner to be drawn out there. Ellison again to Wood. That's lobbed in the air, gentle. Anybody going for it? Oh, word, yes. A long delay there. So Robinson finally moving in, taking the catch, and Ellison now is taking the 3 wickets out of the 4 that are down. 35 for 4. Dramatic collapse here at Edgbaston as Wood goes for 10.
Ellison drawing Wood into playing on the leg side, and the ball slightly an outswinger to him, went straight up, and he was up for a long time, and nobody looked to be going to go for it, but eventually Tim Robinson came running in, and you can see he's almost on the wicket before he in fact caught it, and probably half a dozen people could have caught it, but nobody looked too keen for a while there.
Ellison under Border. Well, what about that? Border goes clean bowl by Ellison, 36 for 5. Real drama. And that could well be the final clinch spin there. A very sad, dejected Australian captain there.
Well, this might be the ball that decides the match.
Indeed, it might be, with Phillips and Ritchie, the overnight not-out batsmen, and the only ones to come, O'Donnell, Lawson, McDermott and Thompson. 37 for 5. Well, who would have believed that could possibly happen out there this afternoon? And the reason it happened is Richard Ellison, who very nearly didn't play in this match and already has 4 wickets in the second innings. A terrific effort from him. Both of them took the first one, Hilditch, and then Ellison's figures: 5 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 2. What an astonishing performance that is. And the match situation at the close of play on the 4th day, Australia with 5 wickets in hand, 200. In fact, it did, and it delayed play until 2:30 in the afternoon. The umpires had a couple of goes at getting the players out. The ground staff, incidentally, had done an absolutely magnificent job. Well, the second time they came out, we pick up play now with the second ball, no runs added, and it's Ellison coming in to bowl to Ritchie.
A sharp single finally sees Greg Ritchie off the mark. The single brings the left-hander Wayne Phillips down to face. It's a good firm shot. Nice half volley. Long chase back there for David Gower, but all in vain.
Yes, that's a good shot, and that's what the Australians will want, to get that ball wet, get rid of the shine. But a pretty good shot there by Wayne Phillips. Got right to the pitch of that one, good follow through, kept it down through extra cover.
More runs there, beautiful shot for 4 runs. Ellison can't afford to stray down that leg side. Seal the field set there with 3 slips, a gully, a cover, a mid-off. Can't afford anything loose on the leg side. So already 2 good shots from Wayne Phillips. Ellison again. He's had a very good match in the field as Phil Edmonds. He's taken the 3 exceedingly good catches, pulled off some extraordinary stops, and certainly he's a very, very brave fielder. Feels so close to some of the bowlers, it's almost unbelievable. That's another fine shot for 4 more. Just that little bit short, and beautifully timed. And hit with plenty of power.
And Richard Ellison getting hardly any movement at all now, and I feel that probably England will have to revert to spin, certainly at one end, to see if they can cause any problems for the left-hander out of the rough there.
That one didn't bounce very high. Was it almost on the bottom of the bat?
Well, it really does look slow, that wicket out there now. Last night it seemed to go through a little bit, and now it seems slower than ever this morning. So, problems there for England, trying to get these last 5 wickets.
Taylor to bowl again, Richie to face. Seem to be 2 definite clicks there to me, bat and pad. There's a chance if that ball had carried to slip.
Yes, I don't think there's any doubt Greg Ritchie got an inside edge on here. Little inside edge, and it almost made first slip.
That's a good shot off the back foot. Robinson giving chase, touch and go. Good stop.
And the predicted change in the attack has now arrived. Phil Edmonds taking over from Richard Ellison at the City end.
And Edmonds, of course, can't use the rough to the right-hander unless he decides to bowl over the wicket. At the moment, he's going in the more orthodox manner coming round. He's got a short leg, a slip and a silly point in. Mid-wicket, mid-on. 3 men on the off, saving 1. Ritchie has 3 more. Now Edmonds can come over the wicket and look for the rough outside the left-hander's off stump. Yes, useful ball. That caught a bit of the rough, turned a bit. And first ball really to react, been heralded with some blue sky ahead.
Yes, and pretty well played by Wayne Phillips. He kept it down.
The weather certainly turned for the better. Patches of blue sky right overhead now. .185 the difference. And Gower still persevering with his Leicestershire colleague here. Taylor again. Another full-blooded cover drive from Wayne Phillips. And yet another boundary.
And yet another example of the fact that even in a situation like this, it's a very good thing to play your natural game. Wayne Phillips on 31, Greg Ritchie on 12, and 80 for 5. Well, that still doesn't look very healthy, and with the sunshine out, it was a question of how long those two could stay together. Well, 3 runs were added after tea. By the time the second over came along, we pick up play now. Ian Botham is the bowler. He's coming to bowl to the left-hand stroke player, Wayne Phillips. Turned that nicely. The outfield is reasonably quick considering all the rain there has been. No men in defensive positions, so there's been quite a number of boundaries for Wayne Phillips. He's been prepared to play his strokes. And the score goes on now to 87 for 5. A spin there. It'll be better for Ritchie to take Edmonds. I think that's what they're working on there. The 2 occasions where they could have taken 3 runs. But it makes it more difficult for the left-arm spinner, where he hasn't got rough stuff to bowl into.
Yes, and that's certainly more than straightened. Pitched around about off the middle and would have probably just missed off stump.
Warning there for Phil Edmonds for running down the track. Sort of ball that is almost unplayable for a left-hander. I reckon that pitched about middle, perhaps middle and off, and whizzed past the outside edge. Beautiful delivery.
Yes, and certainly that doing a bit more like what happened with the seam bowlers getting a bit of movement off the wicket. Possibly now everything's got a bit drier, the atmosphere's drier, and maybe the balls begin to grip on the wicket a little again.
That's 4, but it will fit in with Ian Botham's planning. So it seems to me that he has those 3 gullies there. He's going to give Phillips the chance to play that stroke.
Yes, and I, for one, wouldn't be willing to bet against Ian Botham and get him caught in the gully. Ian Botham trying him out again with the short one, and Wayne Phillips going for the square. And you can see that just about carrying to the fielder there, Tim Robinson.
Now with Embury bowling at the city end, he'll probably come back for 3. No, they've decided that Ritchie will take as much of the spin as possible to keep Phillips away from the footmarks. 100 up. Australia started off at 223 behind. 100 has come up in 268 balls.
Didn't want to get out of the road of that.
Well, this is the old case of dear mother. I got the one that bounced all day, first one that bounced all day, but on a pitch as easy pace as this, that really took off and just whistled past Wayne Phillips's shoulder and chin and nearly pinned the wicketkeeper 20 yards farther back. That's an incredible delivery on this wicket.
Wayne Phillips 50. Played quite beautifully since the players went back on. Lovely series of strokes early on of Richard Ellison. He's made his 50 in only 78 balls and has hit 10 boundaries. His second 50 of the series. He made 91 up at Headingley in the second innings. Well, perhaps Phillips is going to respond by trying to hit the ball squarer, or hit it in front of point rather than getting it just behind the square position.
And Phil Edmonds taking over from the pavilion end after an excellent spell by Ian Botham. Oh, one or two really good deliveries.
Well, he's done him. But will it be given out? It'll need some consultation. Umpires will need to have been eagle-eyed. I couldn't see what happened. It'll need to be something on the replay. Umpire Shepherd has given him out. And Phillips is distraught, and Ritchie at the other end is equally distraught.
Well, whether it's disappointment at the way he got out or not is difficult to tell. But here's the shot. He crashes it down into a boot. And David Gower turns round and picks it up. I don't honestly think there was any question that that wasn't out. Well, that was a desperately unfortunate dismissal for Wayne Phillips, who'd played so very well.
Donald taking strike.
Just an interesting thing about that last suspected catch was that Ian Botham had his hands on his knees again.
Slightly less aggressive field for Ritchie, who's coped very well out there. He's gone this time. Well, he played pretty well. So Greg Ritchie goes for 20. And Embury takes his first wicket of the match.
Yes, good piece of bowling this. A little bit of flight. Ritchie pushing forward. And there's just one thing I'll say about that, which is very good to see, is that Greg Ritchie didn't hang around. He knew he'd hit it, and he was on his way straight away, which was very sporting.
So they're still 143 runs behind. The weather has cleared. Blue sky, sunshine here. Closing on 5 o'clock now. Embry to Lawson. So just McDermott and Thompson to come. Swung away, nobody out on the boundary. Taylor giving chase there. It's just too quick for him, I think. So Lawson collects 3. So on 5 o'clock, the 20 over, mandatory 20 overs has been signalled by the umpires. And he's gone. David Gow's having a ball out there. Edmonds take the wicket. Lawson goes. It's 120 for 8. And England nearly home. Yes, of course, an absolutely vital match for England to win. Put them on ahead in the series. And Australia then would have to win at the Oval.
And just a little bit of turn and stop. And pushed into David Gow, who's very, very close there. And he did extremely well to clutch that in there.
Craig McDermott.
Well, it might be a sort of foreign situation for Craig McDermott here. A couple of spinners, and good spinners too. And finding himself in a position now where he's going to play through about 19 overs. It's back to the wall stuff. The maiden, in fact the wicket maiden. Edmonds turning in 5 fine figures here now. 14 overs, 2 for 12. 9 of those overs have been scoreless. A little consultation means that Edmonds comes off after his 2 wickets and Botham comes back. With O'Donnell down there, this could be slightly more interesting. Might have been in David Gow's thoughts that Botham has got rid of O'Donnell 3 times in this series. And he bowled him. So Botham's done it again. Ball of full length and O'Donnell hitting all round it. He goes for 11. 137 for 9. Also establishes a record for Botham, yet another one. It's most wickets taken by an Englishman against Australia, 129.
Yes, Ian Botham getting a little bit of in-swing there and just finding the gap between bat and fad.
Well, no doubt he deserved that wicket. He's bowled pretty well here today. That's his 2nd wicket in the innings. And as things turned out, it's a very good move by Gower to bring Botham back at O'Donnell. So the last 2 Australian batsmen at the wicket. 137 for 9. Botham in. And he's caught at short leg by Edmonds. Botham's done it again. 142 all out. And England winning a test match. A thoroughly deserved victory. A game in which they've outplayed Australia with bat, with ball and in the field. Edmonds has picked up, I think, about 4 catches in this test match. They've all been pretty good ones. And this, the one that mattered most of all. And Edmonds, a very good, a very safe pair of hands. So, victory by an innings and 118 runs for England to go 2-1 up in the series, with just the final test to come at the Oval.
Yes, what a match that will be, because the positions are reversed now. The Australians, although they hold the Ashes, now have to win at the Oval, whereas before this game at Edgbaston, they could have been content with the draw. 142 all out, with Phillips playing a very good innings for 59. His partnership with Ritchie was excellent. Those 2 young players played very well, but it was unlikely the rest of the batsmen were going to be able to withstand England towards the close. 142, and some really good bowling figures there. Richard Ellison, 4 for 27 from 9 overs, 3 maidens. He didn't add to his tally today. 3 for 52 to Botham, who bowled with plenty of pace, and even on this placid pitch, managed to get plenty of movement and a little bit of lift as well. And the spinners did a superb job at the end with plenty of pressure on the batsmen. 15 overs for Edmonds and 2 for 13, and Embry 13 overs and 1 for 19. So the result of this 5th Cornhill Test match at Edgbaston, which ground incidentally continually produces results, even though in county games it has the reputation of being a very flat pitch. England beat Australia by an innings and 118 runs. So a terrific performance from the England side, and 1 for 19. So a terrific performance from the England side. I think it's fair to say that had they not won because of the weather, justice would not have been done. By the same token, you take your luck as it comes, and if the Australians had got out of it, then they could justifiably have been pleased. The two skippers, well, they'll be of contrasting opinions, I would think. Here they are now talking with Peter West.
David, what about that? Well played.
Well, I'm obviously very delighted. It's been a very, very frustrating day. We sat around this morning not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing if the weather would ever clear. And then when we did get on the field, we came off after 2 balls. And we got back on again, it looked as though things weren't quite going our way.
Yes, there was a time, wasn't there, when it really looked as if it was going to be another one that will get away from you.
Well, yes, I mean, nothing seemed to go to hand. Anything that did go to hand went down. Phillips and Ritchie played well again, looked very solid. Nothing much seemed to be happening. And you're always just looking for that break that changes things round.
Alan, what's your story?
Well, obviously very, very disappointed. You know, we didn't really deserve to get out of the game, but with the rain this morning, I thought we had you know, a better evening chance. By the time we started, we only had to bat for a session and a half, so you know, I thought we could have saved it then, but that's the way it goes.
So the two skippers, Alan Border, who was so delighted after the Old Trafford Test, wasn't quite so happy today. David Gower, who wasn't quite so happy at Old Trafford, had every cause today to be very, very pleased. A double century for him, good